Hello, hello, and we are back again after a week of break, and people were missing us. People were questioning what happened to the episodes that they're watching, and we never realized that we have so many fans. So it's great to be back and more powerful than ever. And we are coming back to you again. It's Passion Unscripted for somebody who is just tuning in for the first time. Today is episode number 28. And we are here, Irina Portnova with Tobi Staples and Dina Alexander, talking about raw and real stuff that a lot of people would not even dare to speak. So we are here to speak about intimacy, about love, because love is everything that we are meant to experience in this love, right? So, Tobi, you're gonna be the one to talk about love because each time when you connect with people, you always love you, love you. So, tell a little bit about love. Like, why is it so important to connect to this beautiful state?
Well, because we are love first, then we're the frequency of it primarily, and we're fueled
Mm-hmm.
by it. And that's the glue that binds all the knowledge of everything ever created in this existence. So if you don't allow the fuel of the love that's fueling you, well, you won't feel it and you can't project it and you can't engage with it and you can't have it reciprocated to you if you're not embodying it for yourself because the frequencies won't match.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. And today I'm so happy that we are having this fantastic topic about instant sparks. Da 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 da. Is there a love at the first sight? And is it like even real? Or it just our imagination?
Dina,
Dina,
take it away.
yes.
I
Dina, take
love
it away
it.
because it was Dina's suggestion for the topic.
Yes, it's very um, in, let's say, modern. The chemistry, love at first sight, blind date, and that kind of stuff. So let's make it real. Does it exist? So my question to you before I share a little bit more how my understanding, because it's my understanding, really my perception, and I'm asking you, have you ever felt that feeling? Do you remember? Share a little bit. Toby, you are nodding.
Oh,
So
well, because I felt it, but I'm an embodiment of universal love. So for me, when sparks catch me, when there's a chemistry, that is real. That's more real than anything in my reality. It's the energy of it first. So yeah, I felt like that before, but not from the state that I'm of which I am today. I was still unhealed and wounded and victimized by life. And that was just my spark of joie de vivre. It was a chemistry crank inside of me. So I see it very differently than I do today.
and
Mhm.
you, Irina, have you ever felt something like that?
You know what? I can't say that I like fell in love from the first sight because for me it takes more than just attraction, physical attraction, because I'm that person like analyzer an observer even in my younger age, but I did feel the connection, right? The connection when you meet somebody and then you feel like you've known these people from somewhere, right? At that point I didn't know anything about spirituality. At that point I didn't know anything about, like the soul's connection. Hey, Bruna, great to see you
Bruno!
with us. Yes, welcome, welcome. We would love your participation as well. But I do recall a couple of times in my life when I was meeting a guy for the first time, and I felt that instant connection, like thinking that we are talking the same language, we understand the jokes, right? And it's so, and sometimes even to the point where you can actually pick up the sentence and finish that sentence, right? So that, yes, I experienced, but I can't say that I was like swept off my feet because it takes more than 1 day for that.
I love you, ladies. You nailed it. We shouldn't change the name of the program because there is another program named like that. But in my perception, You nailed it. I'm going to share what I understand. Okay, and it's not my understanding up until today, because as Toby said, it what my understanding today was is not the same understanding that I had a couple of
Mhm.
days ago, months, years ago. So we are energy. We are one. And you need to understand, being one in the same field, in that energy, you will be, you will have connections. And
Mhm.
we can name it connections. We can name it love at first sight. We can name it
Attractions. Mhm.
attraction. And you know why we feel it at the first instance sexually is because we aren't healed. Okay, so you need to be healed sexually first, then you'll understand there is a connection.
I want to
Connect.
give you a standing ovation right now, Dina, like you don't even know. Woo! Oh, she's
Yeah.
bringing the bang. Sorry, I had to tell you that. Keep going.
No, it's perfect. I love it, and I love you. That's why we together, we ignite something in each other, and I like it. I love it. So going back at what I was saying and what Toby understands, and you said it in your own words, but this is what you meant. The majority of people are not healed in that area, and that's why they sleep around, and
Yes.
they think that is I'm intimacy. I know everything about sex, about intimacy. You don't know a shit. Sorry, not anything.
Bring it, Dina. Bring it.
Yeah, the only thing you know is sleeping around. And what I love, what Irina said, there is a connection, and she wants to observe. And I recommend everybody to take Irina's recommendation. You need to observe, because not all connections are sexually. And I'll be true to me and to you. I don't think any connection is sexually. You make it sexually if
Mhm.
you want, if you're single, or if you're in an open relationship. So I've placed everything on the table. Toby, I think you want to say something.
I just love everything you're saying because you are speaking facts and you are bringing the facts to the whole audience. And everybody gets locked into that sexual desire and needs and lusting for it because they're trying to fulfill a need of a wound they're carrying. Okay, literally. And once you're healed, well, I'd like to tell you all that yes, there is love at first sight. Yes, because your soul will know its rightful connection, healed, whole, and you will not settle for anything else in between. And you will hold out for that one that fits with your soul like a puzzle piece, because that's from when you will evolve and thrive on a soul level. Because that's what we're all here to evolve on a soul level and win and grow. You know, it's not about acquiring here on the earthly plane. It's what are you leaving with? And I hope and pray that you gained lessons and learning to apply, to alchemize it to wisdom, because you are leaving this world broken on a repetitive pattern if you try that, literally.
Yes.
And also, you know what? I just want to mention because I'm being told to mention it. When you're healed and you embody your full consciousness, you're going to know the fit, because when you embody your full divine energy, yes, you have a divine counterpart, because each one of you plays a role, very effective role in the energies that you are. So when you do feel that instant connection with somebody as a healed whole individual, it is more times than not the one gifted to you by the Most High. And that's why you will not be gifted your divine counterpart until you are in your divine energy, because The creator's not going to let you mess up somebody else's divine energy. So yeah, you got to be ready. But it is possible.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Irina, what ignited in you?
Well, you know what? I always kept my love path open. I'm that person, like, like after each heartache, I wouldn't be like closing off my heart. I would be like, okay, that was an interesting experience. And it's interesting because obviously I grew through that, because in all these struggles, in all the heartaches, and you know that a lot of people, once they get hurt, they don't even want to try the second time. It's not who I am. I'm like, bring it on. Let me see what's out there. Life is all about adventure, and love adventure is something that we are here to explore, because remember, with each relationship, even if it doesn't work, we are learning so much and we are growing so much if we are willing to understand and take that lesson, right? And obviously, the mature more we become, the more wiser we become, and the more selective we become, right? So whatever was exciting me at 20 years old, now I don't look at it, right? For me, like, sexy is not just about the body or the cover. It's more about, treat me right, be generous, be the gentleman, have all the levels connected with me: mental, physical, spiritual, emotional. That's what's sexy to me nowadays. So the idea is also, as we are growing, we are evolving, and our preferences are changing in terms of who exactly we want to see next to us as the partners.
I love it.
Oh, me too.
You,
You know what? Can
see,
I just jump in here, Dina,
of
quick
course,
before you take the run?
of
Listen,
course.
Irina, I just love what you said, because you know something, you're right. We evolve and we grow. And if we don't, we get stuck in stagnancy. And that is
Mm-hmm.
not the energy of our being. We're in an expansive growing. But I'll tell you something, I've had a lot of heartbreak in my life. Why? Because I'm a loving individual. I
Mm-hmm.
always have been. And it feels like anybody that I gave my heart to or a piece of it to, they just stomped all over it with work boots, like literally, and I couldn't understand it. So yeah, I went through a period of my life where I was like, no more of this shit ever. And I almost gave up on love. And then realizing, if I give up on love, I'm giving up on my fuel of life. How could I do that? That'll kill me. So then I was like, no, I will love myself enough. And that's when I started really saying, no, it's self love priority in order to love another, because I'm feeling these destructive patterns around me. But I was giving it permission. So, guys, you gotta, she's so right. Evolve and grow. Irina is so right when she says that. And
Yes.
Dina, I love what you said too. Oh my gosh, I love this episode.
You, you guys open up something. Oh, what did Bruno say? We'll never have this lifetime again. Others, yes, but not this one. So it's all about experience and discovery. Yeah, true. That's it. Word. Um, I'd like to share some experiences of my clients. I had a lady coming in. I think it was 2 months ago, and she was in an open relationship. Her partner was all in with her. She said she couldn't get enough. She likes to make out with others. And look, and she came to me, and I know when you are in that state, it's because you haven't felt seventh heaven in your relationship. Okay, they call it seventh heaven, tantra. So that's why in all my coaching, I start with, you need to get to know who you are, that spirit side of yours. You need that spirit side should make love also. You need to teach, get to know it for it to make love, embody love. So I started my session, and I think it was last week. After 1.5 months, she told me, "Look, Dina, I'm not even talking to anybody out of my relationship. I love it, us, between us, me and my partner. I love how we meditate together, how we do things together. We do new things together." And now is where seventh heaven, she felt it. And it's not something that it's only written in poetry and in songs. You can really feel it. And how do you feel it? They ask me, how do you feel it? Seventh heaven is where you are with someone and you cannot describe the feeling that you got. When you don't have words to describe that feeling, that is seventh heaven. And I make a joke, Rina. Sometimes I make a joke to the ladies, and I tell them, when you ask your pussy, how are you feeling after that intimate connection with that person, and your pussy tells you, I feel perfect, fabulous. So it's not always that it feels like that. When your pussy is telling you that, you felt seventh heaven. So we took it up a notch, Irina. Did you like it?
I
I'm
know
just,
you're always here for the ride, you know.
I
We are
gotta add
here.
on to that though. I have to. Irina, sorry, I have to do this.
Yes,
You know what
absolutely.
you're
Go
talking
ahead.
about asking your pussy if it was good and if it was seventh heaven? The truth seventh heaven and euphoric feeling that you can have in a soul connection doesn't even have to do with sex.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Absolutely.
you know,
Mhm.
you can literally attain that seventh heaven state without the sex. And then when you buckle the sex on, then it takes you whoo out of this world.
Yes, and I love it, Toby. I love it why you how you say it, because sometimes people come to me. They say to me, "Sex is sex with everybody. It's the same. It's sex." It's not true. It's not the truth, because you can have this experience seventh heaven in the woods, but if you get it during intimacy, that means something that you need to dig deeper. Sorry, deeper. I'm talking all of the language that I know.
You know what? What comes for me, I wouldn't say that, like, because you can be satisfied physically, right? Being with the person. But then when you get like to the real thing and the person is not caring, the person is like, like they could be amazing in the bed and they can really satisfy you physically. But there is more to that, right? So for me, I wouldn't say that my pussy would be the determining part of saying this is the seventh heaven. For me, it has to be on the deeper level, on the other level, right? So, like I said, I'm very observant, I'm very aware, and I'm very complicated. So it's not just physical part, right? Because obviously, like, there are guys who can feel women, right? And obviously, if you're attracted to the person physically, you can experience that connection when the person is really feeling you. But there is more to that. Because if that person is not going to check all other boxes, I'm not going to be on the seventh heaven. I'm sorry.
Yes, I'm going to jump in immediately. If I have a client like Irina, I would never ask her, how is your pussy feeling? I would never do that. But with you know which clients I do ask are the ones that are sleeping around, the ones that cannot do what you are doing. There is a difference. There are a lot of women getting these syphilis, AIDS, and herpes, and that these kinds of street, how do you call them?
Sexual transmitted
Sexual
disease.
diseases. Yes, because they are searching for this seventh heaven all around, all over the place.
Got to find it within first.
You need to find it within first. Yes, and you have to have someone, because there are a lot of coaches out there, and some of them are teaching BS. I was with you that night, that Friday night, Toby. It was beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank
Yes,
you.
I love it. And going back, there are some coaches giving some informations out there that are beautiful, like yours, but there are some that are not. So please be very um,
Selective.
that, and see your reviews. See the reviews. If you want a coach, Look at their reviews. Read what people are talking about them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I got
Hey,
to add to
Miriam,
this?
it's great to see you. I just wanted to acknowledge Miriam is with
Yeah.
us.
Hi,
Woohoo!
Miriam.
Hi, Miriam.
You know what I have to add though? Not everything that feels good in your whole is good for your soul, number one.
I love
Okay.
it.
Literally, I loved that when I saw that post. I was like, oh, yeah.
And it's rhyming.
And you know what? I know what Dina's talking about how does your pussy feel when you're sleeping around. Yo, it doesn't feel good.
It feels
And that's
dirty.
why I refuse empty sex. What for? Like I mentioned it, I ran into somebody yesterday on my bike ride that saw me and was totally thrilled at the body changes that he saw with me. And we've had sex before many, many times. I could have easily brought him home. But what's good for the whole is not good for the soul. So I left that alone with a decline call. Like, because you have to know thyself and you can't settle for lower density, even sex. No, because she's right. And Dina's right. It's not only sexually transmitted diseases you got to worry about, but on an energetic level, which nobody talks about, is the
Mm-hmm.
sexually transmitted demons that you acquire
Mm-hmm.
through people.
Those
And that's not even
energies,
a joke.
right? Mm-hmm.
So, guys, please be vigilant and love yourself enough to love yourself right so that you clearly see what's loving and what's not in your life. When you look around and you're feeling the effects of everybody around you, well, be in your state of seventh heaven that Dina talks about. Because the lower density vibrations then can't even meet you. You stay above it all. And then you find and attract the people that are on your level, the like minded individuals. And it's so important that you do that because that's when the real love and the instant sparks within yourself and within interactions and connections can happen.
So, does love at first sight exist? Is that real? It does. But you need to understand it. You need to understand yourself, actually, before you make it sexually. Okay? And you need to know what love is, because love is not, a lot of people are walking out there not knowing what love is. So Bruno said something. I feel like I want to read it. Women who have sex with more than one man during their period have a bigger tendency to become bipolar and mentally ill. Mentally. Stop with the meaningless sex. That's a good one.
Woohoo!
That's a good one. I
Nice
like it. I
one.
like it, Bruno. I think Bruno should have. I mean, we need to have a second part, Irina, part two of this, and have Bruno.
Well, well, you know
Invite
what I would
a man perspective.
Uh
you know what I
huh.
would love to say? He was there Friday night too. I love it.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Realignment, guys, to your truest power and nature brings you the capacities of it, even when it comes to love.
True. True.
Without it flowing through you, you can't feel it outside of you. You're the one that's projecting your reality. If you want to feel like shit, well, then everything to you is going to feel like shit. There's a direct correlation. So if you don't feel the love that's fueling you, you will not feel it outside of you.
Yes. So
Beautiful.
I would like to, because we're ending, we're reaching the end, aren't we? So before we end, I would like to share some tips. If you are sleeping around, for example, and you don't know how to stop it, I gave this tip to someone, I think in the past, and I told her, choose one of the guys, one that you really, really feel good at the end. At least you have someone and you don't need to give up all of them, because you cannot say to yourself, I'm stopping it immediately. Not everybody is Toby. It's true. It's true. So I need everybody that is hearing this to have compassion with yourself. I at least choose one of the guys, stay with him. But this guy should elevate when you are finished with intimacy. He elevates your entire self, and maybe after a couple of sessions, you'll decide, hey, I don't need this anymore. I can handle it with a vibrator or something like that. I do I do recommend the best of the best vibrators. I'm serious, because not everybody is Dina, Irina, or Toby. Because if you have a good vibrator, and you can use that energy also to help you, you don't need to sleep around. Hey, search for one. Get to know those points, those women points, those points that you can get your orgasms. That's what I wanted to give as last.
Dina, you're right. Because if a woman doesn't know what points get her off or what gets her off, she will never get off.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely. So I think there is also that timing when, like you have between the partners, right? Um oh my God, Bruno. But there is that time when, people, for instance, in the search of the perfect partner, I think it's a great time to like really connect with yourself and start exploring yourself and see what other parts you haven't been explored, right? Because there is always something to explore. Doesn't matter how experienced we could be, or doesn't matter how we state that we know ourselves, because the entire life we continue exploring ourselves, we continue learning about ourselves. And that's a beautiful time, actually. Embrace that time alone to really connect and get to know yourself even deeper, even better. So when the right partner comes along, you could be in better connection in all the areas of your life.
And don't feel guilty about it, because if you feel guilty about exploring your sexual wants, your desires, or your needs, you are going to block your pleasure center and your creative capacity in everything that you do in life, not just having sex. So, guys, do not be guilty about what you feel or what you want to explore or what you want to enhance. Just find the right partner to do it.
Yep.
Amen.
Absolutely. So we really, really, I see a lot of people tuning in. So please comment something or DM us directly if you don't feel like, sharing with everybody. But like I said, the more we step out of the comfort zone, the more we grow together as collective consciousness. So remember that we were given this, like sexual organs for the reason. We were given everything for the reason. So there is no shame, there is no guilt. It's all about just like really tuning in and understanding how we can make that part of ourselves, the intimacy, more pleasurable and more in the capacity that we really, really connect with that special person that is gonna give us everything what we desire.
Yes.
Yes. And one last thing. If you guys find that love at first sight and you're healed, I'll just tell you it's because you've spent lifetimes together before, because you're
Mm-hmm.
incapable of feeling that with anybody to that depth of universal love. Have you not already embodied it with them before?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Totally with
So,
you.
yes. So we want to hear some comments. Thank you so much. Today was a beautiful episode. And let's see, maybe we can hear in the comments if anybody wants to have the part two, so we can continue on. And let's just share what was your experience. Do you believe in that instant spark, and is there a love at first sight, and if it's real or not? On that note, we just want to say goodbye. Have a beautiful, beautiful week, and we'll see you on another episode. Bye.
Bye.